Excellent. So we're going to talk BI as the last topic here. Now, this is a new journey for us, and we, as I mentioned, about a year ago we went live with SAP, and of course it takes a fair amount of time to mature, your data within SAP, the practices, etc. So now we're ready to get wonderfully creative with this BI side. So we're working on a prototype as we speak, and I'll share that with you. It's a little bit dark here on the colors, so I don't know if you'll be able to read, but clearly this is the information pyramid probably most companies use. We certainly use it extensively to communicate. So you got transactions, then reports, then you get into dashboards to help you manage your business, and then information to improve your business, right? First you want to manage it, and then you want to now be really cool and improve your business with your data that you have. And then ultimately you just want to manage by exception, right? You want to be at the golf course and get the pager when something happened. So that would be the manage by exception. I don't know if anybody gets there. It's just a utopia, but let's say that you get there. So BI is really that second half, right? So the bottom two rungs here, the pyramid, those are just your transactional kinds of things, and you need those, right? You got to run MRP, you got to run your order status and delivery due list and those kinds of things. There's nothing you can do about that. But on the top three here, now you get creative and you say, well, how do I actually use this information to manage more optimally and improve what I'm doing, right? So that's the BI world. And for us, obviously, we want to be able to have the right dashboards across all areas of our business, primarily financials, sales, obviously, operations, and then information about our markets. So we recently, I mean probably about a year ago or so, we bought all kinds of databases, and the question is, how do we tie those market databases in terms of hospitals, number of beds, and who is who, and who does what to whom, and whatever, with our data, right? So that then our salespeople can go on the hunting well informed with not only internal data, but market data put together so they can actually appear quite intelligent, right? So that's the objective of that. So what we're doing is we are, in essence, proving the architecture. We want to validate all the tools. There was a question around the BI, what tools am I going to use? Is this ready for prime time? Is it going to work? So we want to prove that. We want to make sure that before we basically turn this on for everybody, we feel very comfortable that will do the job, right? So that's what we're after. So get the architecture proven, and then also get people's input. So this is one area I feel that you got to get a lot of input from the intended communities that BI will be used by, so that when you deploy it, you don't have this thing, what do you want me to do with this now, kind of a thing. You're actually expecting it. You want it yesterday, right? So you want to build some enthusiasm, and so that's what we're after. So this is the technology that we're working with right now. So we have basically three elements coming from SAP. SAP CRM, so that's all the sales data is, and the quotation and the opportunities and the activities that our sales force executes, etc. We also have data coming in from some elements coming in from external databases. Then we have SAP ECC, which is the ERP system. So that will be all of the orders and the invoices and the shipments and that sort of thing. And then the SAP Business Warehouse, which is really the entity from the SAP that sucks all that data, the transactional stuff, turns it into cubes, right? And so now we have, in essence, data that we can use for drill downs and that sort of thing. So that's the kind of the back end layer. On the front end layer, we're using Microsoft reporting services. So that would be providing one element of the reporting capability. So we want to be able to, there are people out there that like reports and want reports and that sort of thing. So we want to give them reports that they can work with, right? So they can filter, they can aggregate, and that sort of thing. And that will be done through Microsoft Reporting Services. There's the Performance Point, and I want to clarify that Performance Point in 2010 is really kind of built in. In 2007 it's not. It's a separate thing. I just put it separate here just to make the point of where the functionality is coming from. The cool thing then 2010 is it's all built in, right? But anyway, so the dashboards, the drill downs, and then SAP, I believe, has committed to have drivers for 2010 that directly connect to the business warehouse. There've been sort of clandestine versions of the drivers running around, so you know, SAP is not obviously. They have a collaboration with Microsoft, but it's one of those sort of I'll collaborate with you here, but I'll compete with you here, right? So it kind of goes that way. Obviously, from a customer point of view, it would be great if they collaborated all the time and we all win, right? But anyway, so that's a challenge for us, but hopefully those drivers will allow us to. Otherwise, what you have to do is have an intermediate SQL Server database to kind of bring some things that you may not be able to get to directly, right? Hopefully, we can bypass that. And then, of course, SharePoint. And that's going to be our portal. So we intend to use SharePoint as a portal for BI, so people just use Insight as they use today, except that instead of documents and all that, they have access to reports, and they have access to dashboards, they have access to cubes and drill down and those kinds of things, and Excel services that are powered by data coming from SAP. So that's the vision, right? So to them, it'll be no different. There's no new system to learn. Obviously, there's pivoting and those kinds of things, but as long as they know how to use Excel, they're in good shape, right? So the delta to learn how to use BI from Excel, particularly Excel 2007, would be relatively small. Okay, so a couple of examples.